So how good was Tim?
Bloody amazing. The way he talks is just, yeah, it's almost like bloody music to your ears. Like everything he says, it just flows and it's all so true.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like a lot of the stuff he said, and he's like a professional at it, like we preach that all the time, but to have someone that can get it all out in such a short amount of time,
Yeah.
um, you know what I mean? Like it's a talent for sure.
Absolutely. Like, I think the one thing I got from it mainly was that, like, he actually threw me when he said, you know, what do you do when someone says, no, I'm not all right? Like,
Yeah.
I was like, shit, like, I'm so used to
Well,
people
not
saying good.
no one thinks that because like no one does real talk really in Australia. Like it's not our culture, is it? It's just like he said, yeah, hey, going good, thanks yourself. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm all good. Okay, see you later, kiss your ass. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's why like I love what Are You OK Day are doing, and that's why we're here today, is because they are putting more emphasis on there is more to say after Are You OK.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what they're plugging a lot more these days too, which is great. And I actually have a list of numbers that they did put up that we'll read out at the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
If anyone needs them. But yeah, I think what they do is awesome. And yeah, there's definitely always more to say.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and just be there to listen. But yeah, that's good.
One thing that
Aiden,
I reckon
Mhm.
is like when you do approach people, when they feel comfortable to talk to you, that we have to do, like at first, we have to do more listening and talking. I feel like a lot of people do more talking than listening, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, people are like, oh, we'll fix you up. Let's find a band-aid. Let's
Yeah.
heal you. But I
Yeah.
think the best way is to let people talk
Yeah.
and get that out.
Yeah. Let that bit of air out before the balloon
Yeah, I
bursts,
love the
sort of
way he
thing.
says that stuff. How cool
Yeah.
is it? His little like metaphors and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, that's great. Um, yeah, Aiden, I don't think he'll be too far away, hopefully,
No,
but
our next guest, Aiden.
yes,
So
Matt,
we met Aiden at a One Republic concert last year,
yeah,
and yeah, I think we made a really good
we
friendship.
clicked.
All three of us,
Yeah,
which is really
okay.
good. Like you
Five
know, I
five
feel like
minutes.
everyone meets for a reason.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And as we've said, like, so we have spoken about it a little bit before, but um, how if you walked instead of, or did you? How did it work? You got
So
a taxi, didn't you?
I was gonna walk, and then I started walking because I was in a real shit mood that day for some reason. It was just everything was real flustered for me.
Yeah,
I was gonna walk, but then I didn't want to miss the meet and greet.
yeah.
Um,
So you got the taxi.
so I got the taxi, and then the taxi driver like dropped me off at like Fed Square or something rather than the Forum. So I had to walk, and I actually pretty much followed Aiden. Sounds
Yeah,
creepish, but I didn't know him at the time. I pretty much followed him over to the lines
yeah,
back from Fed Square.
yeah,
And I just think because the line was just coming in chockers so quick, I'm like, if I hadn't have been there at that exact time, you know, like I would have been five people behind him. We would have never even talked.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so
It's
I
just
just love,
insane.
and we also met, I think her name's Janice or Jeanette or Jane. Jane.
Yeah,
She was a cool lady. I
yeah,
really, cool people that day.
yeah. I remember, um, because I came later on and
Mm.
I got there. The line was all the way down Hosier Lane, and I'm
It
like,
was mad.
oh, do I join it? Do I not? Anyway, I sort of stood up the front for a bit, and then I thought, oh well, I may as well go down there because it was sort of spitting rain a bit, and I thought,
Yeah.
nah, I'll go down. I'll join the end. Well, I get to the end of bloody Hosier Lane, and it goes all the way down that street. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. So I
For
walked down
sure.
to the end of that block, and then it was running up another street. It was just like the longest line I've ever seen it. Like, just
Yeah.
insane.
I felt like a dog for dogging you and going into the concert early. Because that wasn't me plan initially, but good thing I did, because then you met Aiden. We ended up having a good couple nights in Melbourne.
Yeah.
God, that was fun. Far
Yeah,
out.
that was a good time, and hopefully, once we can travel up to Sydney, we'll be able to go and see him.
For sure. Any travel, like just all the travel.
Yeah.
I really want to go skydiving once
Yeah.
lockdown and like Corona's a bit over.
Hey.
Hey guys, how you going?
Hello,
How are you?
welcome.
How are we?
Good.
Hello, sir. What's going on?
Good. Sorry I was a bit late, boys.
That's all
you're
right.
right.
We've been gas bagging someone else for half an hour or so. So, yeah, you're not really late or
Unreal.
anything. It's all good.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks for having me. Unreal.
No, that's all right. Thanks for
We're
coming.
stoked.
Yeah.
Stoked. How you been, man? Are you okay? Is the question of the day.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, going well. Going well. Probably a lot easier than you boys in Melbourne with all your lockdown restrictions and your situation down there. But I'm on uni break, so I'm loving life at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you want. That's what you want. I'm so keen for when we can finally venture out of Victoria. Me and Ben are so at Sydney for sure.
Mate, yeah, it's one of the things I'm always like staying up to trying to stay up to date with it, but it's just like you want the case to go down, but your Premier's like keeps trying to extend everything.
Yeah. It's a bit of a tough one, that. Like,
Yeah.
it's, especially in Melbourne, like here in Horsham and around our area, like, I think we've only got like 2 or something at the moment, I think, Matt. Here?
I got no idea.
Yeah, I think it's 2, but and around in our surrounding towns, they've either never had it or they don't have it at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's all good around here. So we're pretty good to like go out and sort of do what we like, sort of thing, within reason. But in Melbourne, like,
Yeah.
that would be terrible.
There was a photo on Facebook of like the CBD of Melbourne and just like Burke Street, I think just Burke Street. And there was like 20 photos of all the buildings that like are empty now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, well, imagine the rent in those places. Like, you'd have to be a millionaire to keep up with that and not be earning any money.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's just weird, hey, because it gets you thinking about like Zoom's being used so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember when Sydney was looking quite bad, like we were worried about having like a second wave and stuff, and everyone was working from home and uni was from home. Like, I just started a new internship with this company. I think I told you last time we caught up, and it was literally just like with uni and that. My Monday to Friday week was literally waking up, sitting at my desk in my room in front of a laptop.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, I wonder if like that's going to be the new norm after this, because the company that I'm currently interning for, they're all having discussions all the time about like, do we even need an office? Because everyone's working, like everyone's doing the same thing from home.
Yeah.
Some people even prefer it. It's just, it's interesting,
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, things will definitely be different. Have you are the cinemas opened in Sydney? Like, is that a thing at the moment, or?
Yeah, we're open. I think for us, the main thing is, I think it's just good that we are open. So people are, occasionally still willing to go to the movies. We're not busy at all. Extremely quiet, but we've actually just started to get a few new movies out, like Tenet and New Mutants and a few other ones, which is good. So a few people are starting to slowly come back, but I don't think it's till at least another few months where we're actually going to get like, all those big kind of American blockbuster movies, like, all the Marvel ones and stuff. Like they're the ones that draw the people in. So that's not till, I don't think they're meant to come out till later in the year. So yeah, we might pick up, but yeah, it's just hard as well because like a sold out movie theater, you might only have 20 people in it. because if someone books a ticket, you can't, with the social distancing, you can't sell, like it blocks out not just where they're sitting, but the seats around them.
Yeah.
So if like a group of 3 come through, they're essentially taking up 10 seats or something.
Yeah, wow.
That's crazy. Our ticket price is like $90 per movie, or
Mate, they used to be. I tell you what, now it's just like we're just super cheap. If you want to go. So because for ages we're just showing a lot of older movies as well, because that was one of the issues. It wasn't just being open and restrictions. It was like we have no new movies, because all the film companies were just holding them because they knew that people weren't going to go in this time.
Yeah.
So crazy ads. But,
well, I think the new James Bond was that meant to come out?
Yeah, it was actually. I was so keen for it.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait. Yeah.
I know. I'm a massive James Bond fan. Yeah, there's so many of them, and it's just one of those things. Like with Daniel Craig, it just looked awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well. I think
Soon enough.
So if I have to wait, I'll wait.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, a few of them. Super keen.
We've been talking to Tim, Aiden, and he does a bit of counselling, and he's pretty switched on mentally and being mentally aware. And he shared his views on how we can help people, because today is all about Are You OK Day? Asking the question, and then what do you say when someone actually says, "Oh no, I'm not okay"? So we'd just like to get your thoughts or your views on how you've traveled in this period of Corona, and how you keep on top of things mentally, and what would you do if you were put in a situation where you have friends or loved ones that come to you and they aren't okay, and how you help them as such.
Yeah,
so take that wherever you want, basically. But that's what we're
no dramas, no. But thanks again for having me on the podcast. I think it's really cool.
Yeah,
you're welcome, man.
But and it is good to obviously catch up. But I think in terms of Are You OK Day, I think it's obviously a great day to spread awareness. But I think for someone like, a young bloke like myself and you guys, I know within my mates, I think the hardest part with it all is actually being able to get over the whole awkwardness around actually saying to your mates, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
Or how are you traveling? Because you don't, especially in a social setting or where you really value your mate, like your friends, kind of opinion and stuff, you want to look good around your mates, and you don't want to, get bagged out or anything, or seem as soft. I think the hardest part is actually having a serious chat, not saying, "Oh, how are you going? What'd you do on the weekend?" But like actually, how are things going for you? So I think like for me, it's getting over the fact of like that, asking that question, and it probably may seem like really awkward, but I feel like that's one of the first challenges, and then obviously I feel like if more people, especially young people, can get over that hurdle of actually being brave enough to, get rid of the awkwardness around asking that question. I just think, if you've got a group of mates that are willing to be able to, support each other and talk about that stuff, because a lot of the time, especially being young, like, there's a lot of pressure around, doing well in high school, doing well at uni. And, I think there's a lot of people that struggle, and, you look at anxiety and depression, like that's such a big thing, and even super relevant now that we're in COVID.
Yeah.
Like if you have the ability to, actually open up and talk to your friends about it, like if anything, that'll just strengthen the relationship with your mates. So I think first of all, getting over that whole awkwardness around asking, actually, are you all right? Or, it doesn't have to be every time you see your mates, but, like once a month or something, it's really good, because at the end of the day, like, that's what friends are for. So, so I think that's extremely important, and that's something that I try to, I guess, make a big push for around, my mates as well. And yeah, what I kind of, spread and raise awareness for, and important too. How I deal with it, if one of my mates isn't okay, well then, I think it's great that they can actually share what they're going through with myself, because then, that tells me that, they're not just getting off their chest what they're going through, but it also tells me that, they're trusting me as a mate, to be able to help them out or offer advice. So I think, the main thing is that whole awkwardness thing. But then again, if you are someone that has a mate that's not okay, I just think it's really good to be able to, get the chance to hear what they're going through and then support them and help them out. Because at the end of the day, like, that's what friends do,
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's so
in one large spiel, and like, that's probably my attitude towards you are okay from my perspective anyway. But I know it means a whole bunch of other stuff, but
like there was a couple of things that that Tim said to us. Like, for one thing, the first thing that actually threw me was like, if someone said, like, if you said, "Are you okay?" and someone said no, like, that threw me, because no one really ever says no. It's always, "Oh yeah, good, yep, see you later." Like, no one ever says no. Like, and it is, like, at the end of the day, it is really, fairly simple in the way that, if you care for someone, just, be the one to, to listen and help out with things. But he was also saying, because he does, like, counseling. So he was saying that, he would love even though it's his job, and, he technically would want more people to be there, because that was his job. But, he doesn't want more people there, because that means there's more people that, have issues and whatever. And we are, like, the first point of contact when someone isn't okay, like, and he often won't see, these clients until well down the track, when, they may have tried to hurt themselves, or, or it's getting really, really bad. And the way he put it was, just by, listening to your friend, sort of lets a bit of that air out, and may stop the person from, doing something stupid or whatever. Like, it can help just by, listening, or, giving a helping hand, sort of thing.
No, exactly right. I just think it's really hard for, obviously young people, but I also think, like, anyone, like, it is hard to, I guess, open up to your friends, because you do have that social thing of, you don't want to seem, vulnerable, or, I don't know, soft, or whatever you want to call it. It's tough.
Do you feel like, it's not in the case every time, but do you feel like guys feel like we have to uphold this masculine, strong, I don't cry, I don't feel sadness persona? I feel like that plays a part in, like, friendships between, like, blokes, because it's not commonplace for, like, mates that are dudes to, like, show that much emotion. It's always happy-go-lucky, fun times. When maybe with, like, women, they might feel a bit more comfortable to, like, process their emotions and stuff together. I feel like that plays a part in, like, my experience.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. I really agree with that. It's that whole thing about, kind of what I was kind of suggesting before around, like, having, if you're at, say, getting coffee with a few mates, like, being able to, I personally think it's easier to open up in a one-on-one setting.
Yeah.
But if it's like a group setting, I think that's probably, to a lot of people, quite a bit more intimidating.
Yeah.
But
sure.
So I guess, and this is what I do with kind of, like, I don't do it as much as I should, but there's a few of my mates that if I ever was to, ask that question of, are you okay? I probably wouldn't do it in a group setting.
Yeah.
I'd always kind of pull them aside one-on-one and just be like, so how's things, or, how are you traveling, or, like just to try and have that, one-on-one chat, because, in a group setting, it could be a bit more intimidating. But yeah, back to what you were saying, Matt, I really agree that, there is that type of, persona of men trying to hold up a certain, an image and stuff, because I think, you'll be amazed at how many people that think they've got it all together, but really, they're battling anxiety, or they're worried about a few things, and could be anyone. Like,
absolutely,
it could be like the fittest bloke on the footy team that's like super manly and buff, and he's just like the best at everything. But like everyone goes through stuff,
Yeah.
So
for sure.
I agree, definitely.
Nah, you bloody sounds good, man. Everything you say it's pretty much what Ben and I's whole podcast has been, sort of from the get-go. Our podcast has been very mental health based and breaking down those stigmas and stereotypes. And it's good when other people like you and Tim from before like share similar views and stuff. And like with people like you and then Tim that come on these podcasts, it just spreads the message of more people being open about that sort of topic. The more people talking about it, the less stigma surrounds it, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like just in general, like You Are Okay Day is really, I don't know, it's just really getting a lot more attention now.
Yeah.
And probably, like I feel each year it's just getting more and more publicity. Like businesses are always, posting about it more. Like, so you got like your workplaces, and then like friends, like more people in like my social group, and even just Facebook friends and stuff, and Instagram followers, like there's just like, when it's You Are Okay Day, it's not one of those things just, it's just one of those days where, I didn't even realize, but like for example, me, right? When I woke up this morning, I had no idea that it was Your Okay Day. But like first thing when I woke up, it was just like whole thing, which is really, really good. But my experience is like, I never really experienced it like as heavy. I feel like each year it's just getting more and more support, like more and more people get behind it, which is like just so important, because as you guys mentioned earlier, like with COVID, it's just like, not saying it wasn't important in other years, but like right now it's like, there's a lot of people out there doing it tough,
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially in Melbourne, like like it's kind of hard. Like I'm sitting here from Sydney, and I can go out and go to the pub and have a beer. And
so you can get a beer on tap, can you?
Oh, absolutely.
You're an asshole.
You said happy about that.
Oh, mate. Oh, yeah. I don't know how. Back to when
So is it fairly normal? Like, you're back to fairly normal life then?
Yeah, it's your standard, there's a few cases popping up, but it's nothing that can't be traced, or, because the testing rates are so high, they get onto it pretty quickly. And I think a couple of the recent ones have been like, a school kid getting it. So immediately that family isolates. All the people that came in contact with that student isolates, school's clean. So, I mean, it's around, but it's minimal at the moment. Like it's under control so far. Touch wood, it stays that way. But it's just kind of, everywhere you go, you got to fill out your name and do that. But compared to obviously what's happening in Melbourne, where we've got it. So lucky for now, hopefully. I'll just ruin that for everyone.
That's what's on your like what's your bucket list for like after COVID? Like where will we be in 2021? Is it going to be done and dusted? Like what's your sort of what are the ticks you want to tick off your bucket list once we live in a COVID safe world or whatever we call it.
I just miss traveling.
Yeah.
And I'm someone who's done a lot of traveling and traveling on my own. But I just, even interstate travel, like I don't do it much, but yeah, I just miss it, you know? Like I got really lucky with my Europe trip that I actually was able to do that, you know, right before the restrictions hit. But yeah.
Did you hear about COVID? Like, were there coronavirus cases over in Europe when you were there, and you were like, "What's this disease?" You know?
Oh, mate, yeah, I was in Germany, and then my tour group that I was with, the tour guide brought us in for dinner and was like, "Hey guys, just letting you know, there's this deadly virus that's come out of China, and it's spreading."
Dramatic as fuck.
I'm in Germany enjoying a beer and a schnitzel holiday, and then the tour guide drops that bombshell.
Yeah.
Hey guys, there's this deadly virus from China.
Yeah, it's spreading. And then all of a sudden everyone's on Twitter and checking stuff out and the media's blowing up about it.
Yeah.
And then every part of Europe that I was leaving, that we had cases pop up. But it was so funny because my final, like 2 weeks into or 3 weeks into my trip, my final week I was in Iceland, and it got to the point where like airports were like, they were scary, man. Like everyone's getting temperature checks and everyone, like you couldn't go to places without a mask. And I was calling people in Australia saying like, hey, like this is really serious. Like I might need to come home.
Yeah.
Like I might need to cut this trip short. And everyone just laughed at me. And they were like, oh, it's in China. You're fine. You know, you're in Iceland. Like, don't stress. It's not going to reach us. You know, Australia.
Yeah.
Before you know it, I've landed in Australia and we're locked down. Bang.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
How's that for a conspiracy theory?
Right. Yeah, how about that?
Conspiracy theory.
But no, probably traveling that, I reckon. And then going to a concert.
Oh, yes.
Won't it be amazing?
Won't it be like the vibe in the room is going to be insane?
I'd love to be like, well, I hope everyone gets COVID free, but I think the way America's going and stuff, I feel like if Australia cleans itself up first, everyone will just flock to Australia first for concerts.
Yeah, for sure.
I just want to
line up. We should definitely tee up some concert sessions.
Oh, yeah.
Is there anything you feel like you'd like to share, Aiden?
It is. I don't know. It's just good to catch up, boys. Honestly.
I know. It doesn't even feel like we're doing a podcast, really.
No.
No, it doesn't. I'm just
Yeah.
No, it was good to catch up. Sorry if I wasn't formal enough. I was just keen to catch up.
No. We always
meant to be casual.
Podcast pretty casual. We've never been formal, have we, Ben? In a podcast.
Nah.
Yeah.
Not you, anyway.
Occasionally we get a bit too carried away and there's way too many fuck bombs in the bloody podcast and we have to like go and edit them out.
By the way, I think I listened to one where you guys did it drunk or something.
Oh, yeah.
You were drinking? It's like hilarious. But if podcasts are formal, I reckon I'm just going to get bored.
Yeah.
I think the casual one's better.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sure. They just make it interesting.
Yeah. Good stuff. Thanks for joining, Aiden. We appreciate it. Good to see you.
Oh, good. Yeah, good to catch up.
Yeah. We can't wait to bloody come up to Sydney or if you come here or whatever's going, but bloody.
Oh yeah, mate. It'll be it might even be consecutive the way it's going. Like you just come to Sydney, I'll just follow you back.
Yeah, come back.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the way it's going because I'm just desperate for some travel.
Yeah.
You know? But if you're down to go to the Killers when the Killers tour, fuck, I'd go to that for sure.
Oh, yeah. I saw the Killers already and they were unreal. And I was like, if they ever come back, mate, of course.
Yeah, well, hopefully next year they'll tour because they've got the album. So fingers crossed.
And One Republic, if their album...
Yes, if their album ever comes out.
Yeah. It's probably just a hoax. It's probably not even... We're probably just teasing it.
Yes, they've been teasing us for a long time. We've
It's
got
been a while.
major fucking blue balls from this. Like so
This
much
album better
excitement.
be good.
And then,
It better be their bloody best album.
teasing bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
so-
shit.
Anyways, but yeah, definitely keep a lookout. So yeah, hopefully it's just it all gets sorted soon.
For sure.
Yeah. Awesome.
Righto, man. Well, thank you heaps for joining.
No,
We
all
appreciate it.
I'm glad you're well, guys, and take care. We'll do it again soon.
Cool. Catch you soon.
For sure.
Peace, guys. See you, boys.
All right. See ya.
Cheers, man.
Righto, and there we have it.
There we have it. So it's pretty much wrap up time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just get my phone out. Rightio, guys. So that comes to an end of our podcast. I hope you got something out of that. Are you okay day can mean so many things to so many people, and it's not about just today. It's about every day. But I feel like Australia's at a really good point where this day is so massive that it really ignites the fire. So if you've asked someone and they're not okay, and there's always more to say. There's some numbers, for instance, Lifeline, 13, 11, 14. We also have the suicide call callback service, 24/7. That is 1300 65 94 67. Obviously, you're probably not going to remember those numbers, but if you just have a quick Google search, any number you need is always going to be at your fingertips. It's always 24/7, confidential. Don't be scared to reach out. If you are not okay, it's more than okay to reach out, and it is always okay not to be okay. Find someone that you feel comfortable with, and have a real chat with them. I reckon. What do you think, Ben?
Absolutely. I think
Sure.
I think that a lot of people, they find it hard to not talk, and they struggle with not being seen as strong when they have problems. But the true strength is when you actually come up with the courage to actually talk to someone, whether that's just a friend or a professional. And luckily we've got people like Tim that they are professionals, but not in the, very clinical sort of way. He's a very casual sort of bloke. So, you would be, lucky to find someone like Tim to help. But other than that, having friends to listen to any issues that you're having, and just listening. And then, you don't have to say anything like, this is how you fix that or anything like that. Just, listen and ask, what can I do to help, if anything, and then go from there. But and as Tim said, and as I've said multiple times, is I love that analogy of that just lets a little bit of air out, and could stop a potential disaster, in some cases. So it's very important to just look out for your mates.
Cool. So what do we say, Ben? We always be present. We haven't done this for a while.
No.
We be present. We be positive. We be excited.
And confident.
And we be confident. We be present. We be positive. We be excited. And we be confident. You're awesome. Saldo.
See you the next one.
Woo.
Good stuff.